We're back with the exercise tutorial series, and today we're going to cover an exercise that you probably aren't doing but should be doing if you want to greatly increase your overall appearance of muscularity, and that is the neck curl. We're going to cover why you should be doing this exercise, the anatomy of this exercise, setup for this exercise, the execution of this exercise, a few variations of this exercise, and some common mistakes you'll want to avoid when performing this exercise. But before we get into the video, hi, my name is Ryan Treadaway, founder of treadawaytraining.com, where we turn skinny guys into jacked men. If you want more information on body transforming training and nutrition topics every Sunday, consider subscribing. The neck muscles are an interesting muscle group. They're commonly trained by athletes who participate in combat sports or high contact sports such as football. However, they're ignored by pretty much everyone else, including myself up until about a year ago. The reason why I find this interesting is because increasing the muscularity of your neck is one of the fastest ways to increase the appearance of overall muscularity, especially when wearing clothes. So if you're a bodybuilder or just someone who generally wants to look bigger and more muscular, training your neck can help you do exactly that. Just take a look at this photoshopped image of Channing Tatum. Looking at this picture, you can easily see how much of a difference neck muscularity can make to your overall appearance. And as a personal example, here are two screenshots that I took of myself from previous YouTube videos. The picture on the left is before I started training my neck, and the picture on the right is 6 months after I started training my neck. There's a clear difference between how muscular I look in just 6 months of neck training. And I achieved this by adding only 3 sets of neck curls and 3 sets of neck extensions, which I'll talk about in a future video. Now that you can see the importance of neck training, let's break down the anatomy of neck curls. The largest muscle that will be trained by this exercise is the sternocleidomastoid. The sternocleidomastoid originates at the top of the sternum and the top of the clavicle and inserts at the mastoid process. The sternocleidomastoid is responsible for forward flexion, lateral flexion, and lateral rotation. On the side of the neck, under the sternocleidomastoid, are the scalene muscles. The scalene muscles aid the sternocleidomastoid in forward flexion and lateral flexion. Normally when doing these exercise tutorials, I don't talk about the warm-ups for these exercises, but since with this one in particular, we're talking about the neck, we want to be as safe as we possibly can. First, to start off with 10 slow body weight neck curls. Then move on to 10 alternating diagonal body weight neck curls, bringing your chin to your shoulders versus to your chest. And for the last warm up, 10 lateral neck rotations. You can also incorporate 10 neck circles at the beginning of this warm up, but I get dizzy fairly easy, so I don't personally incorporate these into my warm up. Once you're nice and warmed up, it's time to set up for and perform the exercise. While this is a neck isolation exercise, the setup actually starts from the ground up. Sit down on a flat bench and hook your feet in behind the front feet of the bench. Lay back onto the bench so that the top of your shoulders are at the edge of the bench. Place the weight on your forehead. As a side note here, it's a great idea to wear a beanie or place some type of padding between the weight and your head so that the plate isn't digging into your forehead. Slowly lower your head down and back until you're looking straight back, then curl your neck forward and up until your chin meets your chest. To be sure your neck is actually what's doing the work and that your arms aren't taking over, you can take a loose grip on the weight, or you can even press the plate down against your forehead. Another mistake to look out for is cheating your reps by allowing your abs to assist in the movement. This can happen if you're using too much weight, you're doing your reps too quickly, or if you didn't hook your feet into the bench like I outlined at the beginning of this setup. While the neck can handle significant loads, I would recommend starting with very light weight in the 15 to 20 rep range and slowly increase over time. Getting into a few variations of the neck curl, of course you can do this exact same exercise using a dumbbell for load. If you have a head harness or are willing to purchase a head harness, you can do resistance band neck curls, standing resistance band neck curls, or my personal favorite, cable neck curls. To set up for the resistance band neck curls or the cable neck curls, connect the head harness to a resistance band or cable, sit down on the bench, put the harness on your head, and from there you'll execute the exercise the same as before. For standing resistance band neck curls, put the head harness on with the resistance band hanging behind your back, grab the resistance band with both hands, and while holding the band back with your hands, curl your neck forward as with the lying variations. I'm curious to know how many of you out there are already training your neck, so let me know whether or not you are down in the comments, and if you don't, let me know whether or not you plan to start. If you're watching this in the future when the neck extension video is already out, you can check that out by clicking here, and you can check out the exercise tutorial playlist by clicking here. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, buddy.